Oh, the sock monkey was close. It was very close. It is so hard because it's pure random number generation as to whether you land on that target or not. Thank you very much, Mrs. Jedi, for your participation in today's stream kickoff. Hopefully my sound is coming through because I've got the brand new headset because my last one gave up the ghost a couple of days ago in the middle of a call, so that was fun. But I've got the new one up and running. I can hear myself in my monitor machine, so I think I am good to go here. I also think at the moment that you may be the only one here, Mrs. Jedi, and that's perfectly fine too. That'll give me a few extra moments to sip a little coffee before I get into the game. Ah, that's good. Once Nico and KDP arrive, though, I've got some new stuff that I've got hooked up for them. And if Sandwich happens to drop by, which would be awesome, it's particularly I've added something with Sandwich in mind, but it's something that Nico and KDP will have notions of. And yes, of course you have schooling to do, because if you don't have work to do, you have school to do. Until this weekend, we're going to have some fun. I know, Sandwich, right? I still have a sub on his channel, so I still have the Rocky emotes. Oh, look at that, and the emote wall fills up with them. Oh, I love that thing. I should go look at the settings on that and see if I can get the those emotes to last just a little bit longer, especially when they're Rocky. I mean, come on. Ooh, and for optimal fun, I can now mix Rocky and Charlie together. Yeah, this is it. Let's just do this for 2 hours, and then we'll call it a day, and everyone will go home and have soup, or whatever it is that we're doing for dinner tonight. Or if you happen to be watching and lurking, thanks for the stop by. You can have whatever you like for dinner too, and it doesn't matter what time zone you're in. Just have dinner whenever. Although the better plan is to have breakfast whenever. Yeah, see, there's Jesse. There's always someone lurking out there. Oh yeah, actually my viewer count just jumped up to 4. Although there are so many bots, both for good and for bad, floating around out on Twitch. You never know. So most of the streamers I know pay no attention to that viewer count number that comes up on the display here. What is important, though, is the little green squiggle line that says the transmission looks good. I was having some weird internet problems earlier, and I don't know if it was just Google Drive or if it was the Earth's internet, but so far it looks like we're going. So thank you very much, Mrs. Jedi. You can type !lurk, and it'll put you into lurk mode, because, it doesn't work otherwise. That's the law. You have to. Let me take a look at all of my other stats here. I think everything is up and running. So we are ready to get back to some SnowRunner today. So since... Uh-oh, it lost the lurk there. Actually, I think I can... I don't think it really cares about anything, so I can type in my... Yep, there we go. I'm just lurking. I'm just going to pay attention to the background now here. One of the rest of you can just take over all of the yammering as I go along. So I finished up last Thursday, or I think it was a Friday. I did my special stream. There you go, Mrs. Jedi. Thank you for the lurk. So last Friday, I did a whole bunch of the SnowRunner, and I got myself to a good stopping point and decided there was no way I was waiting until today before I got to play a little bit more. So over the weekend, I have taken care of all the tasks that exist on both maps in the Ontario region. The exception being that each map has one task that I believe is locked behind one contract or another. And I haven't gotten I've barely started the contracts yet. I've only done the bare minimum to enable me to complete all of the tasks that I was aware of. Plus, I fixed the 2 water towers on the first map. So now there's 2 water towers on the second map that are contract locked. There's a railway station that you need to get open, and I suspect that one is probably going to unlock at least one, if not both, of the remaining tasks. I have seen in someone else's stream that that is finally the source for the unlimited amount of resource materials. This map is a little unusual in that all the warehouses out there that you find, including a couple that you can activate by doing the tasks, all have finite numbers of the materials. Which means over the weekend, while I was driving around off stream, I had quite a few trips where I was having to drive all the way across both maps in order to deliver metal rolls in particular. I think I still have some metal beams on the first map, but a lot of the wooden planks, the medium planks, I think I had to start going to the second map. And there's one chain of rebuilding water boom number 6 on map 2. It requires consumables from map 1. On map 1, to make consumables, you need a long plank from map 2. To get long planks on map 2, you have to repair the lumber mill on map 2. In order to repair the lumber mill on map 2, you need to bring this other stuff from these other places. And so there was this long chain, but I finally got it all set up. You have 4 slot loads. Where's my other hand? There it is. You have 4 slot loads of long planks. You have 2 slots for metal beams and 1 slot for metal rolls. And it takes all of this steel and wood and it combines it into canned hams to take over, to provide the water maintainers who are going to live on this boom. It's a really weird combination of materials to build a thing, but it was an enjoyable, point A to point B to point C to point FGHI contest. So let me go ahead and flip back over to where I'm sitting now. So I completed the last of the tasks. I was sitting at the water boom that I had just prepared, and right across the street there was a real simple contract that said, hey, the farmer over here is worried that the water levels are going to rise with all of the runoff because there's no trees to hold it back anymore on the burned out hillside. And they're worried that their hay is going to get flooded and made useful. So could you take these 6 rolls of hay back over to the other map to the main city center and store them in their storehouse for us? So I said, absolutely. And unlike my normal SnowRunner phrase, it was absolutely, I'd love to help. And in fact, I'm going to do it right now. So I am paused here on the profile page. So still max rank. Someday I would like to see that number go higher than 30, but I highly doubt it's going to happen until, well, there was Spin Tires, then Mud Runner, then SnowRunner. So whatever the next game is going to run, hopefully they will have a higher level limit there. But I'm almost up to $9 million, which in normal mode is effectively useless. Hey, Bendy Roy! You know how useless money is in this game in normal mode. But I got a ton of it, so I'm good to go there. So yeah, I just delivered the hay bales. I'm going to take my glasses off to read that screen over there. So, oh yeah, the next piece I'm looking at is work transport evacuation needs me to go grab those 2 trucks that I found a long time ago, back when I was doing the early exploration on this map, sitting up over here. And I think one delivers to this map and one delivers to the other map. So I got that selected. I'm looking at that as my next task. My next contract here. So I can finally get going on contracts and start unlocking stuff. And I think my strategy here was I was actually going to winch another functional truck over with me. So then when I get over here, one of them I can hook up and drag back the truck that stays on this map, and the other one that I've winched over there that's drivable can winch up to the other one and then take it up here to the gateway and head over to the other map, because it's going to the lumber mill over there, I think, maybe? Not positive on that. You'll have to go check that once I actually get the contract going here. So this is the mining one, because this is going to unlock a bunch of the other mining contracts. Don't have access to those yet. So let me check that out. Oh no, the quarry parking lot over on Burned Forest. So perfect. The gateway that I'm closest to is actually the one that I would want to go through to get to the quarry. This will work out. This will be good. So who have I got right here? I think this is the yeah, this is my Taiga. Who's sitting over here? I've got the Dairy, which is probably a poor choice for casual towing. The F750 isn't an awful choice. I think the Dairy would be worse. Just resting your arm in a sling, multiple hairline fractures. Oh, good lord! Or oh my lord, if you prefer the Miss Silver Moonism. I've had something similar in the lower extremities before. I was on crutches for quite a while, so I hope that doesn't tie you up too badly for too long. The hairline ones, honestly, it depends on where they are. That could definitely be painful, so hoping that's not it, or if it is, I'm hoping you've got decent pain drugs for that. Who have I got in storage? Who wants to come out to play? I use him for logging, keeping him around in case there's more logging to come. I could use a twin steer to deliver a twin steer, but that one's really not the best for maneuverability. Oh, the Bandit. I was so in love with this truck back in Michigan. And a little bit in Alaska, but that's where things started to sour on our relationship. I still have it included as part of my fleet, but it doesn't get out much. Ooh, the Caterpillar. I'm liking this as a choice. Let's bust this bad boy out. I haven't used the Cat in a little while. Oh, wait a minute. You know what I could use? If I can find it down here? It must be down here at the bottom of the list. We've got the brand new Zix. It came with this map. Nope, that's the beefy one. Where's the new one? Wow, this scroll's really slow. Did I sell off rather than just reconfigure that Zix? Well, that would be embarrassing. Well, now I gotta go find it. Oh wait, I shouldn't be able to buy the Zix from here because it is foreign. Oh well, it was a good plan, and it was a good plan at first. And then it went to absolute shite, so used to that. This cat I like to keep around to be my I've flipped someone in a really bad spot and it's hard to pull them out recovery vehicle, so I usually leave it set with the big crane here. So we are going to give it a quick opportunity to... Do I want to swap out the bed for something else? Or do I want to just go ahead and go with the crane in case I have a problem? I'm going to go for the fuel tank. I think I've got some trailers on the other side that could probably do with a refill. So this bad boy, I'm just going to pull us over there, fuel up anybody I see, and then I can recover him right back to the garage here. I think that'll work. That'll work well enough as a plan. Although I'm a little anal retentive and do some degree of pre-planning, which would be a good thing if I was to get myself into a hard mode situation, which might be coming after season 9 here. I am not quite at the point where I am hyper over-planning, which would probably be really good for hard mode. So since this bad boy's got the fuel on board, I'll let him do the master driving. We'll slave up the Taiga behind him. I think taking this road up over the hill behind the town where the Taiga just happens to already be parked will work out pretty well. I don't have my beacons on yet, so I am not safe. I've also not actually looked on what goes through from where. This is my first stop. I know that this fence looked like it was collapsible. Oh, okay, I can get right out the other side. Perfecto. I'm just gonna let that trailer sit right there. Hang out for a moment. Let's get the beacons on, because we're gonna go towing. We need extra safety, especially with me doing the driving. up. Oops, I accidentally turned the engine off on that one. Normally I would have shut that one down when I took control of the other one, but since this one's got a gajillion liters of fuel on board, I figured I would just leave the other one running. Lights. This is the most ungainly exit from town I think I've ever managed to attempt. Okay, we're off and running. Ooh, hey, we got an update here. So what caused it? As I was pouring water into my coffee maker, I'm familiar with that. Found out I got brittle bone disease from chemo. Wow, just from pouring water into your coffee maker? Life is weird that way. I do hope you recover quickly from it, because that is, at a minimum, it's a giant pain in the ass, and it could get worse than that. Here's the other. I follow another streamer who's doing a kind of a long-term recovery at home right now. That's how he got into streaming some SnowRunner. I am. Oh, he was the most recent follow before it's Miller time. I'm Mr. Amazing, something like that. He's kind of a cool guy, but yeah, he's currently bedridden because he broke something lower body, I think. He's having to do a ton of recovery on it. Yeah, okay, so I've already slightly passed the turn I want to take. No, don't go that far. This is probably a little windier than I want to go, but if I'm towing, I'm gonna have to respect the forest, I guess. Yeah, we cut it across this way. I've changed my methodology for how and where I put down these dots so frequently that I'm not following any of them anymore. I just kind of throw down some guide points kind of along the way here and there. Should pay a little better attention to how I actually want to do these to maximize my efficiency. Do it later. That's the real reason I put the fuel frame on this thing, so I can make all of the poor life decisions I like and not have to worry about running out in the middle of stuff. Out in the dirt. Throw on the all-wheel. Won't worry about the diff lock until I actually kind of need it. If I just throw it on so it's on, then immediately I run into something that the game decides is too stable a surface to warrant diff lock. And here comes the transmission damage. Oh, you'll also have to be in low gear on this truck, so another reason we're not going to bother it. Keep pulling. Yeah, I want to make it. Audio levels. That particular truck is definitely up there on volume. I'm going to roll him down just a little bit there, see if that helps. Now it's just barely pegging into the yellow. It sounds like my voice tends to run mid to high yellow, so hopefully I'm audible over this truck. Anyone notices, has commentary, feel free to let me know. I can continue to tweak a little more. I definitely discovered that the Steam Deck, as opposed to the Stream Deck, its volume levels are a lot lower than this Switch when the capture card grabs them, which is wild to me. So I gotta turn the volume knob way up in OBS here when I change which machine I'm streaming off of. Now I'm going to go for the diff lock. Because it's muddy and damp and rivery and icky. Side effect, it's also not really slow. And all of those other things. I always hook that, or not stump, but the end of that log there with the root ball. Keep rolling. I'm going. Yeah, those rocks right there, that's the kind of thing where the game decides, nah, that's too much like pavement. And it disagrees with the diff lock. I say just put on slick tires and let it drift. Actually, I take that back. I don't say that. Because the regular highway tires are a little too much like drift tires. Adjusted camera setting. There we go. Get my sign up above the head on that beer. Kind of like adjusting my rearview mirror as I drive. Not that a semi would have a central mounted rearview mirror, except for humor value, I suppose. Haven't taken this particular route very often. I normally kind of swing out farther. I go up the highway, just past the bridge that you have to repair. And then I'll take one of those shots over and then drive a longer distance through the burned forest. Usually because there's cargo involved in either of those routes that I need to go ahead and take. This time, just towing the other truck, I actually get to take the direct route. So, except for the gentle darkness, I'm actually kind of seeing some new stuff there. What's going on over there? That's a house with porch lights? Oh, yeah. That's the hermit's house. Okay. That shows you how infrequently I've actually come this way. Because I've done the big delivery to the hermit's house. I've been there before. Just didn't recognize it. To the hermit, it pays to just stay in the river and start swimming upstream. I believe following the river down over here makes a slightly more direct crossing. I love the fish. They need to go back and add the fish into player maps too. I like that, just that extra touch of ambiance. And, the good animation going in the environment around you. I'm much slower than fish, so I never have to worry about running one over. So that would be rude. Turn this into a real RPG, we can have a fishing minigame. Oh, yep, now it's... Nope, not headlights. I wanted to turn off the diff lock. Actually, speaking of It's Miller time, He's got a friend, JB Snake, who I've also started following. He's been streaming this week. He has hoped to rekindle my love for the international semis. So I've been, I am personally dedicated to the Scout 800 in this game, having owned a passenger Scout before, but I haven't spent near as much time with the actual trucks as I should. And there's one of the international models that he has openly declared to have the best engine sound in the game. So it's obviously too late. I've already picked the Gat for this job. When I turn him back in, I'm going to go grab one of those internationals. Give them a shot at running one of these missions. If nothing else, you got to give it a good horn test. This one's pretty good as the horns go. Although its engine noise is louder than its horn, so that's disturbing. Okay, we're almost there. Remember to not dive in the water. Do the same over here, and then whoosh, that compound's just right ahead. Gas everybody up. And this is one of those where apparently I'm going to have to do them in order, which is fair. I would do that anyway, because the one that stays on the same map is at first. But definitely do that, because Switch load times when changing maps are quite a bit longer than PC load times when attempting to do the same. So the Cat is staying on this map, which means this other Cat is going to be towing the twin steer. So we can get him kind of lined up. Yeah, let me do the refuel here and now. Refuel myself. Oops, I think I actually just stole some out of the twin steer. Okay, now you're fixed. You're fixed. Why do I not have access to my Taiga? Taiga, whatever. If I alternate them enough, saying them each different way, eventually I'll end up settling on one. Did a little damage, did a little repair. It's all good. Let me back up again so that I'm actually a little closer to the fuel truck. Not sure what his problem was, but I'm going to shut down entirely. Nope. There we go. Fuel tank. Cat is full. There's the Taiga. Okay, everybody's full again. Come back over to here. I just need to tow him back to my garage. What's the most cleverest way to get there? That one, that's a lot of swirling around. I don't know that that's crossable. Obviously, I've never tried because it's still all in the dark. But I know there are large sections of this river that are deep. I've watched my Taiga disappear below the waves a time or two, disconnecting the trailer full of cargo just before it could get pulled under too. Yeah, maybe we just go back the same route. All things considered, this isn't all that bad. Yeah, it's an easy drive. It's just not exactly a straight line because, SnowRunner. The game's no fun if you're straight lining it. Deliver to the fire department. Oh, okay. No, not the garage's fire department, but the fire department, which was also the hay storage in town here. Huh. Okay. Well, in that case, I feel better about going this route because that's definitely going exactly where I want to go. So let's see. I'm in the right truck. Fire up. Beacons for safety. Winch. Connected. This can be a bit of a heavy boy. Tiger's got what it takes. As far as I know, I'm going to go ahead and run it. That'll help with the pull. Well, speed things up just a little bit. Definitely going to be slower than normal because we are towing a beast. The beast will go a little faster if it's under its own power, and then I will worry about whether or not it needs to be totally refueled when we get there. I don't know if they handle it like the fuel trailers that need to be delivered for tasks, or on hard mode you can only use like 10% of their fuel, but on normal mode you can burn like 50 to 60% before they care. Or since the thing is undamaged, well, I might have to worry about whether or not I damage it, but it might just be a pure straight up deliver it and then we'll call it good. Any damage is obviously the way that I found it. This has been, parked and abandoned over here in this other lot for quite a while during the fire. Wouldn't be surprised if it had been lightly looted along the way. I don't normally take this cut off because I usually end up clipping one of those stumps, but it looks like I've finally done it just enough times. Got a better line through there. Every one of these trees in the burned forest, no matter how much or little of them is left, they are all very angry about having been burned. And as the only moving object out here, they are willing to take their rage out on me at every opportunity, especially stumps. Especially these nasty trees that they put out into the roadway that grab onto everything, and they're made of tungsten alloy that's just indestructible. Already first over. Although the map is large, these are nice sized maps. They're very varied. A, that makes it a lot more interesting to drive because of variation. And then B, you drive them enough, you kind of get used to them. They actually start to not seem like they take as long to get across because of the enjoyment factor, I suspect. These maps, you need to be a little careful. There's some learning you need to do to get the ins and outs of them, but they're not really technically complex. Yeah, not like Amour, or even if you know the line, you're still going to struggle to get through. Listen, you know a good line when you're, sometimes you got to stop and downshift like that, but getting stuck is reasonably rare. But it is still snow running. So they've got little dips and valleys in the road that are just waiting for you to hit them just right, and floop, over you go. Loves to make you show that belly every once in a while, just to remind you who's in charge. pull a hill in a straight line so I can use my other hand to have a little coffee. Uh-oh. We're drifting. Oops, no brake. Okay. I can gas and steer with one hand, but not if I'm doing too much turning. It does allow me enough time for a coffee break without having to stop. So, lazy for the victory. It was a big beefy truck. I've actually had one of these not far from my house, participating in a new home construction project. It's not just a home here. It was an old, I'm going to call it farm complex, because I presume at some point in its history it probably was, back in the 20s. But so it was one homestead with a large plot of land around it, with all the housing developments built around it. There are actually a couple over there. I'm guessing one of them either voluntarily finally sold out, or maybe got it through an estate sale, or who knows how. But they finally bought it out, and they're converting it into tract housing like the rest around here. So they had the entire Caterpillar fleet out to do the land clearing and buffing. It was pretty, it was terrible to see the old neighborhood get torn apart like that, but it was very cool to watch the fleet of vehicles come out and do their thing. This one, what did they have? They have it equipped with a dump truck bed. So something not available in game here, but make a nice addition. I would like to see dump trucks added, so you have one new cargo operation type available. Pull into a big old dirt pile that gets a little smaller each time you pull a load. And you got a 4-slot pile of dirt. And you can take 1 or 2 slots worth at a time in your dump truck. You have like a scout dumper, and one of these big beefy boys can maybe take 3 or 4 loads. I got design plans. I'll just make my own game. Which will undoubtedly be nowhere near as intensely fun. Although, realistically speaking, it's kind of a simplistic game. Kind of. Speaking as a software developer and knowing that absolutely no piece of software is actually simple. If you get a good articulated model for your vehicle, at this point, I think with this game they use the Havok physics engine, but I think they do a lot of their own manipulations in addition to it. But you just stick with a pre-made physics engine so that you've got a vehicle that can kind of move around and handle some light terrain. Maybe not as detailed a model in the mud and everything that this game gets to. But you could make something like a construction simulator. Hey, old bacon face, look at you. You are the first and 42 minutes in. Mrs. Jedi was here earlier, and she forgot to steal the first. And I think Bindi Roy has been and gone. So, congratulations. You are here now. Entertain you? Oh, crap. Okay, hang on. I got to break out the script and start over again. First, let me drag this big, bad, beefy boy back to where I found him. So what am I working on here? The work transport evacuation. I finished off all of the available tasks. The asterisk there is that there are actually 2 tasks left, one on each map, but they are locked behind contract work. And I haven't completed the contract that either of them requires yet, because I haven't been doing contracts until now. So this work transport evacuation is a contract for the mining company. It is the only mining contract available now because, they need their work vehicles. So their vehicles were sitting in a pen over in the middle of the map, so I got to drive this one back to the fire station, and then I got to take the other one to the quarry on the other map, and then the mine will become semi-operational again. I'll have all kinds of new contracts available for them. It's going to be great. Is the audio extra crispy today? Which piece of audio? Because the answer is going to depend on what it is that you are listening to. This is my brand new headset because my old one, apparently the emphasis on old, it completely end of lifed on me in the middle of a conversation the other night. Yeah, so this is a new piece. I have noticed every once in a while the audio will spike red, so it is possible that it's a gently crappy microphone. Not possible. I have also been tweaking the volume levels on the game because they have been coming out unusually high, which is also weird. So most of it I could probably blame on OBS. I haven't updated it, but there's really not a good reason to not blame OBS. Oh, hey, Kooky! Welcome in. I'm going to put glasses on to start reading stuff here. The Death Star is nearly fully operational. It will be. Well, the mining star is practically operational here. Oh, man. So this game that I'm going to invent that lets me use these trucks in actual dump truck mode, I'm going to put a Death Star in. That would make the coolest Easter egg. You're cruising along one of these and you kind of pan over this way and you go, hey, what's that moon up there? That's no moon. You know what? They could get around licensing. Everybody else does. You could have a legally distinct from Death Star orbiting the planet. And then if you're in hard mode and you run out of money and you flip your truck, then the thing just opens fire on the planet. These games write themselves. I have no shot at actually successfully making this turn, so I'm going to try it anyway. Because who wants to go the long way around the building when you can do the hard way over here? Wow, it actually made it. Didn't see that coming. Now we'll see if it wants me to refuel it or not. No, it doesn't care. Man, I could have just bashed the crap out of it then and it would have been fine. Oh, hey, also, I didn't mean to stay in low plus the second half of the drive, but just happened to work out. So since this is where this truck started, and I just abandoned this trailer here in the first place, let's go ahead and hook back up. Oop, crunch, that was a little hard, but that's fine. So I was clever. I'm putting my brain to work here. Since I knew that this contract was going to want me, wrong Caterpillar, want me to take the two trucks in opposite directions, I had this Caterpillar loaded with a fuel tanker, dragged the Taiga over here so that the Taiga could take that one truck back the first direction, and this bad boy can take us in the other. Because I was planning. That's a good one. So yeah, I've got the battle of the trucks that don't turn so good. But as long as they're being towed, I think it treats the physics a little easier on them, so I don't have to worry. So my plan was twofold in putting the fuel tank on here. It ensures that all of these trucks involved in this operation are going to stay nice and fully fueled. Also, when I get to map number 2, since map number 2 has no fuel facilities, this will give me the opportunity to run around, make sure that all the trucks sitting over there and all of the fuel trailers that are sitting over there can get as topped up as possible. And then I will probably just recover this dude right back to the garage. Because especially once that tank is out of fuel, there's nowhere he can refuel it on the other side. And we'll save a little bit of effort by not having to drive him all the way back. More so than saving the effort, saving the time and bothering to drive him back, because clearly he's not a fast vehicle. Especially at the moment, because he's towing big. Rock and Stone! Hey, Nico. Did you notice, Nico?
For Rock and Stone!
Rock and Stone!
For Rock and Stone!
Rock and Stone!
For Rock and Stone!
Rock and Stone! There's another one on there. Don't go missing it. I spent I spent longer finding the sound clips than I did actually getting them configured to work. And since KDP's not here, they've actually worked. It is the best play.
Carl!
For Carl! Discovered that the Deep Rock Galactic wiki page apparently has an entire page on the lore of Carl, but I haven't read it yet because I don't want to spoil anything. But I'm deeply in tune with Carl. Or whoever. I'm going to do something a little different for a change. I'm actually going to drive first person. Oh, I know what this tree can do. I know what this tree can do. It can lie down and die. Bam. Nope, nope, now it's stuck on my grill. Oh god, I'm taking it home with me. Is my trucker named Carl? I think the appropriate question is, was he named Carl before now? Because the answer there is, I don't know. But I do know that he is now Carl. Is this right? Oh, yeah. Okay, driving first person, I've kind of stopped paying attention to where I'm going. And I don't recognize anything from way down low here, so I think I'm going the right way still. Oh, yeah, this is the right way. Because there's one of my fuel trailers that's just hanging out. But since this one's hanging out on this map, I'm going to ignore it. Before Carl, the trucker was named Carl. I can go. Hey, JB Snake! I was actually referencing you a little while ago. In setting up this mission, I happened to be using a cat to pull the twin steer over to the other map. I meant to go grab the International, so I could spend a little more time with the good engine noise, but yeah, I screwed that up. It's because I had this cat already sitting in my my fleet storage. But once I finish this mission and take it back over, I'm swapping out for maybe even a couple of Internationals. Give them a good run. I haven't used my Internationals for a while. And this set of maps is the excellent opportunity to use a variety of trucks, because it is not as technically challenging as some of the others, which then kind of semi-mandate that you use a specific set of trucks that can actually handle certain setups. And no, I'm absolutely not talking about Amour and the Zix 605. Never occurred to me. You may have been involved in the conversation I had where I'd mentioned that I can never drive first person in this game, and I could never drive third person in American Truck Simulator. So here I am. I'm building character. Oop, and injuring my engine apparently. I'm actually driving some first person for a little bit, which is particularly ironic given that I'm towing something that's really hard to make sure that you're not crashing it into stuff. But as I learned from the first vehicle, apparently these miners don't care what condition their trucks are when you deliver them. So yeah, so that is how the SnowRunner's going today. So technically speaking, after finishing off all the available tasks, I did do one contract to deliver the hay bales, because it was sitting there looking me in the face, and it bothers me every time because the map is overloaded with all of those little hay bale icons. So I did do that one. So this is my first main contract. Miners adore trucks. So do dogs, if you remember that old commercial. This scene is the bad accident task. I've dealt with this one. And it actually starts exactly like that. Pick up on its side, trailer upside down, and the rig has punched a small dent in the guardrail over there. Hey, welcome back to the Burned Forest. So I need to get this twin steer over to the quarry. Okay, this time I'm finally going to come out of that mode. Forward, there we go. Let's reconnect. Oh, there's the cursor finally. So let you power up. Headlights on, beacons on for safety. I'm always frustrated that they turn off all of my safety gear anytime you transition maps. I think I just want to take, I really don't even have to mark this off because I've made this trip so many times now. I just want to go straight up and over the top of the hill. And nope, that's too far. I need to take this little cut in right there. And they are a bunch of jerks, so they want me to pull this thing right down to the bottom. Let's see, what's the best spot to turn? You know, it's great. I'll worry about it when I get there. For Carl! By the way, Nico, you do have an invite to more Deep Rock tonight, if you are available and free. For Carl! I hopped on to Sandwich's Discord briefly last night after I finished finding the path. Between finding the path and then taking an 8-hour nap on the path, I popped into your stream, Nico, for a few seconds to say, hi, I'm here, and I'm not staying because I'm tired. And then I got myself all prettied up for bed, and then I fired up my iPad and checked in on Sandwich, who happened to be Discord streaming a Deep Rock game with Positive Stress. So I hung out with him very briefly while they ran a mission, and got a confirmation that he is indeed looking to be up for a little more rock and stone tonight. If you check his Discord, I also finally discovered what the jalapenos are, and well, I know what they're needed for, but I've discovered what they are and how you get them. So I need them to make my flamethrower much more gooder. So that is going to be my goal tonight. And you know what? In fact, I may even do that even if the multiplayer community isn't ready to go tonight. They are giant green crystals that are apparently really hard to miss, but you also have to dig for them. So how it is that I've got 6 of them, I'm guessing someone else knew about them but didn't tell me, or accidentally found them somewhere along the line. Could go either way easily. And obviously, I am going to have to eventually stream one of those too, especially to take advantage of these new sounds. How much fuel? You know what? That is a good question. Let me go check real quick. I think 1,800 for this bad boy. Yeah, 1,800 on this one. So I presume the water frame is the same, but there is the whole ass out of you and me thing there. I haven't really looked at it yet. Honestly, though, what I would like to do is hook up the new dairy with its 2,200 liter and then pull a 2,000 liter tanker behind it. But I haven't tried it yet, but I've got to be 92% certain that the dairy's not going to allow you to tow anything when you have the water tank attached. Probably, maybe if you've got one of the, like the flatbed or something on there, but my understanding is that truck gets to be a little tippy most of the time, so it's probably not all that worthwhile to use it for anything other than the water mission. Although I think it can hold a hell of a lot of fuel. Oh, wonder if it's... Could hold a bigger tank? Oh, no. Technically speaking, the dolly trailer holds more fuel. Not counting its actual fuel tank, I guess. But yeah, the dolly trailer will hold 2,000 while this one does 1,800 in the tank. Oh, no, wait. No. What I'm thinking of is the Paystar. Wait a minute. Is this the shortcut? Yes, this is the shortcut. It's the shortcut that's probably more likely to actually result in a flip than just going around the long way, but Old Bacon Face wanted entertainment, so here we are. Oh, hey, I'd forgotten to put on all-wheel drive. This will make this easier. Oh, settle down. Okay, there you go. That's better. Yeah, faster and safer to take the slightly longer way around, but, you know, I'm too busy talking. At least I'm paying attention to chat properly for a change. That's definitely one that I've been working on. I have all of my redeems hooked up, whatever they are, to trigger some sort of sound effect, so that helps me key in. See, speaking of, thank you, Sprue and Glue. And I got my my sock monkey. Oh man, I'm going to take a double hydrate off of that one because the coffee is still just warm enough to be very pleasant. Give me another 30 minutes and it'll be a little close to room temperature. And then by the end of my stream in about an hour, it'll be nice and cold. Iced coffee without the ice. So I am working on the work transport evacuation contract. I'm going to get some more of the mining contracts opened up by doing this. The other thing I should really go do is the contract that opens up the railway station on the first map. And so far I have been dealing with all of the finite resources for completing all of these others. And I haven't run out of anything yet. But that day is coming, and that day is coming probably pretty soon. So getting the railway station open so that I don't have to worry about limits on resources is probably going to be a good idea. I would keep my fingers crossed that they designed this well enough that you can't accidentally burn all of your resources so that you can't open up that station, but yeah, you never know. Because SnowRunner's never done an official push with any kind of bug built into it. Yeah, I bet it's helpful when you get the rail station. And I also suspect that that's going to unlock the one task that I have left on the first map. And I don't know, it might unlock the one that I have left on this map too. I think the one that I have left on here, when I come down here and check out the tasks, I can see the two that I'm missing. And the one over here makes reference to doing the metal detector truck, which super conveniently, there just happens to be one already sitting over at the evacuee camp that I claimed by driving next to it. So I'm going to presume that something I'm going to do is going to trigger some story action over there at the evacuation camp, and that will activate that final task. Don't have any particular reason why I decided I needed to complete all of the tasks first. Just kind of worked out that way. It may have been, I think on map one, the only two contracts I did that weren't directly related to supporting doing the tasks was Water Tower 1 and 2. But I don't think I had to do those. Not like you have to repair the service station, and then there's a couple other things that you have to do just to make some of the others possible. But I did Water Tower 1 and 2 because I was doing all of the booms under contract. And then I kind of cut it off after that point. I want to see this twin steer make this turn. And then I have not done Water Tower 3 and 4 on this map yet because there wasn't a direct need for them. That's safe. Yeah, that's no problem. There's a little bit of damage. Okay, a little bit more damage, but it's fine. It's still pulling. The firehouse didn't care about the low fuel on the first one, so I'm sure these guys won't care about fuel, damage, any of that stuff. They did leave this, They did leave this truck sitting out in the fire after all, so they get what they deserve. Yeah, there we go. Contract complete. All the vehicles are safe and sound. You live up to every good word we heard about you. Who said what? Here, this is for your great work. 890 XP, which I have no use for anymore, and $9,700, which I also have no use for. But I do like the recognition. Ooh, boy, that's louder than normal. Yeah, you are right, old bacon face. There is something wacky about all of my sound settings, or at least this new headset, one way or the other. Oh, okay. I had a trailer sitting here waiting for the day. Eventually, I assume I'm going to need this oversized cargo. But I found another use for that trailer, apparently, so I took it away. So I'm going to let that just kind of sit. So now before I recover this, I want to buzz him around to some of the nearby trucks and fuel trailers. Get them topped up a little bit, since I've got almost 1,600 liters still sitting in this big old tank. No sense letting it go to waste. I've already made the drive over here from the first map. No point in having to do it a second time. This is my special technique, born out of laziness and the frustration and discovering that, you know what, I can actually back up this hill faster than I normally, except now because I'm talking about it. Oh, yeah, this truck. There we go. Lock up the diff there. But yeah, normally I can back up this hill faster than I can manage to get my dumb ass turned around down there below. But not this time, naturally. You know what? Okay. You win, truck. You win. Dumb slow ass it is. I'm guaranteed to just roll down the hill. And then after all of that blather about wanting to make use of this fuel as long as I've got it, I will end up... Yeah, I might end up having to just abandon the whole thing. Although I think I still have the civilian Ankh sitting up at the top of this hill. So I guess I could have gone and tried to rescue myself. If I put just enough of these rollable rocks in the way here. Wow, even going forward, I can't make this turn. All these damned rocks. Okay, we're going hardcore straight up. Well, we want to go hard, and we're stuck on a rock. Okay, there we go. Everything's coming up Millhouse now, except for the fact that I can't turn enough to get off of this rock. I'm going to have to risk rolling just to get through this. Another rock. I do this on purpose. Okay, there we go. We're good. Everyone's good here. Oh, you got the second map all scouted out. Yeah, the second map is pretty cool. It's got more variation in the terrain. Yeah, here we go. As far as I know, I actually have access to this truck. Yeah, I do. Don't want to be in it right now, but I've got access to it. Yep, I haven't touched him yet. He's still full. Oh, hey. Free repairs. Although it didn't say anything, so I think all the damage was on the truck that I just turned over. So, refuel. I haven't used a whole lot out of this trailer. That's good news. Fuel tank. Boom, fill up that trailer. Where to next, boss? So those two are full. I got this pair of trucks sitting up here. 680. That Freightliner, the Freightliner is the one that has the magnetos on it, or whatever the hell, the metal detector, or the magnetometer, or whatever they got on there. I don't remember that 680. I don't know what it's got going on. I've got the big boy Taiga from Maine sitting over here with this fuel trailer. Maybe that's where I should go next, get that topped up. What did it do? This one I had set up. This one's got the seismic kit on it, because there was a seismic trio of things for the Gold Rush task. That was it. And I just parked him over here next to the truck, and I left him sitting there. So I gotta go deal with him. And then there's another fuel carrier sitting over here. That fuel carrier actually probably gets used the most. Let's see. How quickly and easily can I get down to that one? Let me go down to the farm there and top up that tanker first, because that one gets the most use. I think I just want to come down this way, yeah. And then after this one, if I've got stuff left over... Actually, the way I wanted to come down here? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Then if I got stuff left over, I can just pop out to the highway, cruise up, leave it in that tanker. I like this plan. Hey, Alex! Oh, that's why my camera keeps moving. I keep flipping the laptop lid back up so that I have a better look at the chat, and then I end up deframing myself. So let me make sure. Okay, I'm good. I'm gorgeous again. Everybody is safe here. So I got to do a little bit of administrative work here, and then I should go back to map 1 and get that rail station opened up, because that's got to be super important to basically everything else. I'm probably an idiot for not having done it before, but I was able to do all of the tasks without it, so I'm just going to call that a moral victory. There's the beauty and the gorgeousness of SnowRunner, is that it is not a game with a solution. Especially if you're playing in normal mode, you've got hundreds of possible solutions. Hard mode, maybe you got a couple of dozen good solutions then. I would figure in hard mode, by the time you get to this map, if you're doing them all sequentially, you've probably got enough of a financial reserve that you really don't have to worry too much about hyper-optimizing everything. But flip side of that coin, by the time you get to this point, you've probably hyper-optimized so much that it's just ingrained in you to do it all the time. And once you reach the point where that's fun, then that's awesome. I think I've heard someone confirm that really it's only super stressful for the first little while when you start with those $19 in your bank account and the crappy Chevy pickup that can barely go anywhere on the Michigan map. Once you finally got a few completions under your belt without running out of cash and having to scrap the whole game, then you can finally reach the point of financial independence. So yeah, it's simulating real life, and who wants that? That's probably the real reason I haven't bothered starting a hard mode run yet. I finally caught up with active releases when I finished Glades Actually, I think I finished Glades on New Year's Eve day. It's either the 31st or on the 30th. I finished it just before New Year's, because again, there was a target that I could make up a name for, and I managed to pull it off. So I only had to wait 2 months for Season 9 to come out, but once I finish this, it will probably be close to the full 3-month haul before Season 10 is available. So I may end up going ahead and starting a hard mode run in that time frame. I do have my multiplayer on mod map game set up on my Steam Deck. King Ninja actually has hopped into that one once to kind of help out in the Krokodilsk region. Once I've finished with Ontario here, I'll probably go back to that one initially. If I start a hard mode, actually I think I would have to do it on a vanilla map here. I don't think you can really do it on a mod map, because mod maps, the mod maps I've got, you can't earn experience doing anything. So you will be a level 1 driver forever, and that's making the game a little too hard on yourself. And you pretty much have access to highway tires, and on the occasional truck, maybe the low-end off-road tire, but nothing better. There's a lot of space in that Krokodilsk region where those tires just do not work. And in my New Game Plus mode on that one, I've stuck myself that way. I made sure I started with $500,000, so at least I can buy some things. But I can't gain experience, so I can't unlock good equipment for any of the vehicles, so I'm stuck with real low-level stuff, which is passable at the moment. But it is sad when someone comes in multiplayer in that game and they've got the full beefed out rigs and they can just charge around where I can't. But then again, they're helping, so it's fun. But I had to play it solo in order to get to the garage, which was the giant pain in the ass in the beginning. But I don't think since that point I've actually bothered to play solo on it anymore. Let me flip these up. Fuel. No, I need it the other way around. Going from the tank into the trailer. You are full. And then I got 200 plus what's in my truck's fuel tank. We are going to take this shorter road past the sawmill, the fully operational sawmill. I'm finally figuring out that must be what you heard earlier. That sawmill can just crank out the planks now. I was particularly worried when I was doing that crafting chain all the way across to get the consumables built in order to finish this last water boom up here. That once I got the sawmill open, then I was going to have to go grab a load of long logs in order to make long planks. But part of the lore that came up is apparently they have been having a ton of lumber, a ton of trees delivered to them, but with the sawmill non-functional, they have been unable to turn them into planks. With my delivery of repair supplies, they got the mill running again, so they have a giant backlog of logs to mill out. So fortunately, I got to save that one extra long logging drive. So yeah, all of the artwork drawn logs there, they actually have access to on their own. As opposed to Chernobyl in Taymyr. I think that one had a sawmill that had logs lying around everywhere, but in order to get planks, you actually had to bring it more logs to convert. I guess all the ones lying there were already spoken for. So. The road's just up at the top of that hill. Oh, that's right. No diff lock without time shifted. I think you're going to work on getting the second gateway open. Yeah, the second gateway really does help with a lot of stuff, especially if you're the type. Well, I recall you're not the type, but the type that likes to take the big trailers to haul large loads of cargo all at once. Having that paved highway access between the maps really makes a big difference. You don't have to churn your way through the burned forest to get to the original gateway, and then churn your way through the hills to get to wherever it is you're going. You can just go straight from the garage, beeline it all the way over here. Oh, okay, yeah, I am running low on fuel. That's why we're struggling. Take just a sip here. Anything that I've poured into my fuel tank that I don't need to use, I'm just going to dump into this other trailer I'm headed for, so that this truck is going to be bone dry, and then we will recover it back to the garage. Wow, we are Ontario drifting here with these super mud tires on dry pavement. Big trailers is, that's Miller's specialty. Yeah, for a brief period, I was really hooked on that super mega 8-slot trailer, just because there were a couple of opportunities where it really helped out, but it was a huge pain in the ass. I think I was actually using it in a moor. It was the one trailer I had easy access to. I didn't want to have to go drive all the way to a trailer store, so I decided, yeah, I'll just use it. And I used it a lot. And because the 605 was pulling it, it was actually able to get it clear of a lot of spots that a lot of other trucks wouldn't be able to get it over. It would go really well on this map, but I haven't used it. The 5-slot step deck, I hadn't used one before, so I happened to see it at the store and said, yeah, let me give that a shot. Because the actual step deck itself, you can't pack cargo on it, but it's nice and wide, unlike most of the others that get kind of goosenecky. So you can just pile stuff up on top of it and carry it unpacked, and it works great. But they are hard to get turned around. Especially when you're in something particularly hilly and you get them stupid little stubby legs stuck on everything in both directions. But when it works, it is handy for large amounts of cargo. Let's see, taking the loads of hay, there were six hay bales. So I packed 5 of them, but then number 6 just casually set right up on top of that step deck. I did hold on to it with the crane though, just because I had to set it on there sideways. Trying to get them to stand upright so that they're cylindrical up and down so that they don't roll is harder than it's actually worth bothering to do. But there was one mission where I needed a whole bunch of small pipes and metal beams and some metal rolls and some other stuff, and I managed to cram, 9 slots worth of cargo onto that 5-slot trailer, and didn't really have any trouble getting stuff to hold on. Okay, refuel. I want to go to the trailer, so that's not it. Don't mess with the Tega. I'm gonna top that up, and then I want to go ahead and transfer over everything out of my cat. So the cat is done. Before I recover it, let me take a quick peek at the map just in case there's anything else I want to do. I haven't been to that yet, but I bet there will be some contract stuff to take me there. No, I will avoid spoilers. I was about to mention the something about the upgrades, but I will keep that mostly to myself. I've only spoiled that there's a spoiler, so it doesn't count. That one over there, that one is a scout fuel carrier. I'm not going to worry about keeping that topped up. Those, when I find them in the wild, typically I go ahead and bleed them dry and then just take them on back to the trailer store and sell them off. I don't usually put any effort into trying to refuel those because I like having the big 2,000 liter bad boys floating around instead. This 2,000 liter was actually just waiting for me there at the quarry. That was super handy. I liked having that one there. I used to have one parked over here by this gateway, but once I got the other gateway opened, I left this trailer back over on Albany River, kind of in the burned out area, so it's central for working on those contracts. It's actually near the rail station. And then I got this one sitting here because it seemed like this farm was going to be a hub of activity. And there's been 3, maybe 4 tasks. Not quite as much as I'd thought, but it's still kind of centrally located for this cross-map path. So, yeah, that's all good. Let's get this bad boy recovered. Back to the other map. Everyone, come with me. We are stuck with the slower switch load times. So I'll have a quick refresh here. They have upgrades. This is a Matrix sequel. First there was the Matrix, then there was Spin Tires, then Mud Runner, then Snow Runner. That's how it works. It's all part of the natural progression. That also explains why there's only one human on this map. It's because he had, one of those pills. I don't remember which color is which, whatever. I'm not a Matrix master. I probably was at the time, but definitely not now. Because you know what I remember about pop culture now? Nothing. You know what I love about Ontario, Canada? I don't know. I've never been there. This axe. I love this axe, and I'm sure it's real. Honestly, it might be. Port Albany and the Albany River, that's real. So I was saying earlier, normally this is the truck that I keep around in storage with a giant crane attached to it to be my emergency vehicle is upside down at the bottom of a gorge recovery vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and leave them here in the garage rather than retaining them away, but I'm not going to swap beds yet. Because normally the instant I do that, well, not the instant, usually about 5 minutes after I do that, that's when suddenly something comes up and I have to come back here and swap it back to the other one anyway. So I'm assuming someone somewhere is about to run out of fuel without convenient access to more. So we'll just leave that as is. Although I do have my F750 fuel mule waiting to go. You played through MudRunner twice. I've actually got a MudRunner save on this same machine. And in between these season 8 and 9, I've been kind of bouncing back and forth between doing some multiplayer on a mod map on the Steam Deck and then actually playing some MudRunner on this machine, obviously. So actually, MudRunner has multiplayer, but it's not cross-platform. So I'd have to find somebody else that owned a Switch copy of MudRunner to play. Hey, if that happens to be you, if by some weird twist of fate you're either here or you watch this on VOD, let me know. I would totally play that multiplayer. It's obviously not as complex or quite as entertaining as SnowRunner here is, but it has its merits. And I did play it first, just not to completion. So what do we need? Oh, wow, we need a lot of water delivered. Oh, I'm thinking, what's the difference between these? Why isn't it just 12,800? It's because there is a first and a second involved. This has 2 ties. Oh, okay. There are literally 2 nearby stations. And I've got, wait. Oh, okay, weird. When I'm in this view, it doesn't show me where my water booms are. That's got to be one right there. And I think that one is a burned warehouse. So there are water booms in the vicinity. I have not done any, water-based firefighting here in this game yet. So let's see. This contributes toward the global event. The fires are extinguished. It looks like there's 2 of those. Where am I? I need this. There it is. Is that actually the one I want? No, actually what I want. Nope, not that. What I want, what I really, really want is this one and this button here. Okay, I found it. This is gonna work, trust me. There we go. Regional progress. Extinguish the fires, carry out the evacuation, and restore the infrastructure. Okay, those are the 3 regional goals. So I've got putting out fire already set up. I could just take the dairy and make 3 back and forth runs. Well, I could load up with water real close here and then just drive my slow ass over. Although there is a water tower over there too. Okay, now it's showing me the towers. Trailer around. Uh-oh, it's the kid. The kid's here. Oh, okay. The kid had already gone away before I could actually type him out there. It's great. I'm just gonna take the dairy, see how this goes. If I need to end up finding something with a bigger trailer or doing whatever, I'll just do it. Change. Oh yeah, I can. Whoop. Okay. So I'm a little higher up. Where or how will it tell me about my water level? I'm going to assume that I am waterless to begin with. Although it would be nice if you came out of the garage with a full tank of water. I have a feeling that's not how it actually works. I don't see an indication there in the UI that that is actually a thing that is happening. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the highway. I'm going to come over to this water tower. I'm going to fuel up on this one. And then if I am not mistaken, it's possible... Well, I can go straight down that way, but I think that was scary. I think the road comes up here and cuts across. Well, I've definitely done something over here before. You know what, screw it. I'm going to pretend like that's going to work. We're just going to go. Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. All right, we're rolling. We got lights on, so we got right of way. We're cooking. Everyone clear out. The dairy is on its first mission. We're gonna have a pre-mission fireworks this time. That's neat. This is not a surprise to anyone. The dairy is not the slowest truck, but it's definitely on the slow end. But that's why I'm going to stick to the pavement here to kind of maximize this. I think it actually does pretty well off-road at least. Hello, good people. I'm coming through. Oh, I apologize if my horn blows down your fences. It didn't work on that one. There, that one worked. I love the sonic blast. Nope, that's too far away. So let's speed limit 50 here would be like a 30. I don't know. I might be doing that. I'm only down 11 liters. I have a suspicion I'm going to enjoy every extra liter I can get my hands on. Pro tip, kids, do not handle fuel with your hands. That's what God made jerry cans for. For everyone new to SnowRunner, I want to welcome you to the surprise that, oh my God, it's nighttime in SnowRunner, because this hardly ever happens 90% of the time. But as I marvel every time, there's actually some ambient light at night on this map. Now, granted, it's probably coming from the fires, but at least it's not pitch black like so many other maps tend to get. Plus, this truck has these nice rock crawler lights on both sides. So we are lighting everything up around us, although it seems to be picking up quite a bit of haze over here. That makes them a little less useful. But then I'm also under street lights that are actually working on this map, so I guess there's only so much they're going to do anyway. Hello, Mr. Axe. Keep rambling. Oop, I can see there is a water tower over there, but this one's a little closer to the pavement. And if my shortcut doesn't totally lead me astray, it's a little more on the way. Just a tiny bit. This is hyper optimization. Oh, hey, look at that! I actually have backup fuel on the cab roof. That's good to know. I would not be surprised if I end up needing that one day. I do have that extra fuel trailer parked over there in the burned forest. In the lowercase b burned forest, the one that sits on this map, not the burned out forest. I got plenty over there. But I've got one trailer that's not too far away, so if I found myself on empty, I would be able to fill up from what I've got on the roof there and make it over to that other trailer. I know for a fact I've got more than 380 liters sitting in that trailer. Pretty sure I've got over 1,000. I used to guess I'd go around 1150. I think it's a little over halfway full. Can I turn? Can I turn? Nope, there's a pole in the way. Actually managed to avoid the rocks. Could not avoid the pole. It's a lesson for you kids. Don't avoid the pole. Something like that. Welcome to water management. Hey, look at that. I do start empty. Okay, just... Oh, okay. It did look like a blue outline before, so that's why I was super suspicious of it. Now it is a fully... It's a solid three-dimensional shape of blue. So what I need to do then is go find one of my water booms once I need to refill this bad boy. See whether they are limited or not. Because if you got to bring water from a boom or from a tower to a boom just to get it closer to your end target, then unless you got a fire brigade, a bucket brigade working in multiplayer, that seems like a total waste of time. Because if you're hauling it over there to a boom to be closer to the fire, just take it to the fire. Hopefully, this is more a matter of, maybe I had to repair at least one of the water towers in order to make this mission accessible. And so as part of this mission, it explicitly shows you, oh god, this is the right way. It explicitly shows you the towers, but doesn't bring up the booms because for some reason it's not paying attention to whether or not you have repaired any of them. Yeah, I go around the rocks. Apparently my solution to going around the rock is to drive through the lake. So there we are. Okay, that's always on. That's tied to low gear. I don't know where I'm going. I think I come out here and drop down the hill over there. It seems doable, except that there is this sizable rock in the way here. Although this rock looks pretty climbable. Is that the 2-track? Yeah, that is the 2-track. Okay, so this is the intended way to shortcut it. There we go. Mr. Beefy Boy made it over a big old rock. Plundering down out of the hill. Yeah, I usually come over this direction, but I kind of cut across here. Today, I'm going this longer way. So let me do some quick mapping out. There's not too many places you can go to get too awful lost. I think I have to go around the trees that way, but I'll cut that a little short just in case. I can cut it off, and then I am coming up along the tracks over here rather than going the slightly longer way. Yeah, that's not it. That is a water boom though. And there's my trailer sitting over there in case I run low on go-go juice. Okay, we're fighting fires. This is Season 9's harvesting of potatoes. Let's see if this gets to be just as boring and mundane, or if it actually stays kind of interesting. I get lucky, and that water boom actually has an unlimited resource of water, so that I don't have to drive halfway or 3/4 of the way across the map, both directions each time to do 6 loads worth. And then this won't be too awful bad. That will prove out the benefit of doing those tasks to get the booms fixed up. Because the text about it makes it sound like, hey, doing all those water towers all over the place is going to be a big pain in the ass. Sure would be handy if you had access to these nearby booms instead. Other side note, I haven't really noticed any performance difference now that I've got what should actually be a very heavy load of water loaded up on this tanker. It's not a speed demon to begin with, so it's not like I notice it being suddenly particularly slow. But part of their physics modeling in this game actually does a respectable job of making the vehicles feel heavy when you've got cargo and stuff on board. I'm going to see if I can just cut right next to this rock rather than going around the trees. Look at that, I saved at least 50 extra feet of driving. Only made super embarrassing if I proceed to roll, but so far I'm avoiding it. This isn't exactly clear road, but it's flat enough. The pointy rocks haven't caused any unmanageable difficulty yet. Raising the active suspension has probably helped with that. Breeze right up the grass rather than going across more rocks. And here we are. Look at me, I'm a train. If Nico and Tay and KDP were all here, I could proceed to make it really awkward. Oh, emergency, emergency, get off the tracks. Those tiny little rails over there are gut busters when you try to climb over them. So instead, I'm going to go through this totally unreinforced fence. Boom. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at your shack here. It's definitely messed up. Oh, it took one and then kicked me out of the menu? No, there we go. I could have just held it down, but I wanted to experiment since it was my first attempt. Okay, now's where we're crossing our fingers, holding our eyes, inhaling our breath, and probably doing those all wrong, to validate whether that boom will actually refill our water tank. Infinitely or not. Oh yeah, King Car, I did. I rated you in, but you were hardcore concentrating on something at the time, so I gave a quick wave and then ended up leaving. I think I had to run off to make dinner anyway. But yep, decided honestly I don't remember. I presume I either came across you either under It's Thompson or Miss Silverman's universe. Grabbed the follow from there, and you happened to be one of the few SnowRunner drivers on at the time. We're concentrating. Yeah. I know a bunch of streamers that do it that way. Actually, I've got a separate laptop up with most of my stream controls on. I do have the OBS chat up on this machine also, though, so I can see it in two different directions, and still I tend to miss it most of the time. Oh, you're actually I'm playing this on Switch, and then using the capture card on laptop number 1 here. Ooh, wait a minute, what's that? Oh, that's someone else who wants a fire put out, I guess. Okay. It is such a minor detour. I'm going to run over here and check this out. I am currently working on my very first actual firefighting mission. for your benefit there. I have done third burned warehouse. Okay, and that needs 2 tanks. So yeah, I've done all of the tasks on both maps, except for one task on each map that is locked behind a contract. But I've only done basically the minimum number of contracts just to facilitate completing the tasks first. Not for any real reason, just I guess it's like an OCD moment or something. It gave me a rule to make the game a little bit harder for myself without actually doing hard mode. So yeah, this is my first water mission here. I stopped at a water tower on my way to the rail yard to make that first delivery, and now I'm going to make my first delivery, or my first pickup from a water boom. And since the water booms don't show up on my map as water sources, I'm a little nervous about how this is going to go. I'm off to give it a shot. Co-op. So I do, yeah. Ironically, I do have a co-op game set up. I actually have it set up on my Steam Deck, which I then use the capture card on this laptop to stream from. But I've got a mod map, the Crocodilesk region set up there that I do some multiplayer on. This one here in Ontario, this is on my single player. I want to experience everything game, but I do have a multiplayer on, so I will let you know the next time I'm set up to do a multiplayer session. I've had a couple of people jump in on them, and especially Crocodilesk, because it's a mod map. It's designed by a guy that's not exactly a professional level designer, but he's got some level of talent at it, so it's definitely a good one for doing multiplayer on. Some of them are terrible. Some of them look really pretty, but they've got no tasks, so all you do is kind of drive around, which, if you want to super RP it, is kind of cool. But I like these that actually have tasks set up. Water tower. Wow, it really is set up that way. So yeah, in single player mode, these water booms are probably useless. If I'm going to drag this water all the way over here just to fill up this tower, so I can then fill it up to bring it over here, screw that. I'm just going to bring it over here in the first place. Well, that borderline sucks. That means these are going to be slightly longer drives. Okay, let's get over here. So at least this tower over here isn't all that far away. Oop, gotta spin around, spot that. But yeah, I was really hoping that those water booms would just be water towers that are optional. But I was nervous that they didn't have the yellow pickup arrow on them when I started this mission, so now I know why. I actually have to load them up. Use the K150T. Good truck. Oh, same as the Goliath. Oh, okay. Yeah, JB Snake, who was on earlier, he's a big fan of one of the internationals. So I'm actually looking at trying out one of those. This map is really conducive, I think, to digging deep into your supply of trucks to start using those that you don't use very often. So that is one of my goals. After I finish this firefight and have access to the warehouse over there at the fire station, I want to start breaking out a whole bunch of those hardly ever used trucks. Give them a runabout. Carry 152. Okay, yeah, I definitely haven't used that one much. I've been using some of the cats so far. I've got one that I use as my emergency rescue vehicle fairly frequently. I've got that one out, but I was driving around a couple of the other cat options. I've got the cat skid loader out because I got that one for free on this map, and I haven't thrown it away yet, but I can't imagine having a good use for it, but it's there if I really want it. I wonder if I've tried going on this side though, actually. I wonder how deep it is over there. I wonder if this will be a bad life choice. I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out the fun way. Yep, that wasn't so bad. Going the other way, though, would definitely set me up better for making this climb, so I just have to go up and over. Nope, 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 son of a bitch. Oh no, I've just now noticed I have committed a faux pas in my preparation. I'm not playing Metroid, I'm playing SnowRunner. There we go. It's not still running, is it? No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, that's what happens when I start getting extra chatty and pontificating. I do know that I can get across there, so I can make a straight shot. I've got the Taiga out. Oh, a little low on fuel, but... Oh, no, no, no. You don't need to bring the trailer with you. That can just sit tight right there. Let me go double check where I am. I do want to come across. I can go ahead and nuke that path. I come here. I want to go past that adorable little fishing hut. I want to cross the rocks. I want to pull the hill. And then how do I want to get up there? Because that coastline's a little rough, but it's probably going to be the best option. We'll just boogie straight up that way. There it goes. Yeah, after all of that bluster about how I've got one cat on standby for emergency recoveries, yeah, I'm just going to use a different truck. I play SnowRunner fickle like that. So it's a triaxle. Oh, two-steer in the front. Okay, yep. I've actually been using that it was a 10-wheel Paystar a little bit on this map. I haven't used it much before. I actually used it for a little bit of short logging because it'll take the short log trailer plus the logging crane. And then it also has the extended fuel tank for the big drive around and refuel missions. It's, I want to say 2,400. I don't think it's quite as big as the semi-fuel trailer, but it's bigger than everything else. It's definitely bigger than the 1,800 that most of the other trucks carry. I haven't used it much for cargo. Definitely not on this map yet. Because the turn radius is terrible, and the tippability gets just too high as a result. Says the guy who just tipped another 8-wheel vehicle. Found myself doing a lot of waterfall crossings. Nope, you definitely can't make that pull if I'm pushed into the tree first. There we go. Oh, don't fall too far down in there. I have watched a couple of streamers that this is basically the way they play the game. Yeah. SnowRunner puts maps or puts roads on the map, but I don't use those. Nope, crap, didn't turn it off, just moved it. Nope, don't do that. There we go. Okay, a little bit of cross country there. Except for the stability anchor there, this truck is actually pretty good about squeezing through trees. There's nothing more frustrating than when it sticks one of those anchor poles onto a branch and then decides you're not going anywhere anymore. Let's work our way up here. There was a mission that involved the classic SnowRunner mission. Hey, you know what? I've dropped my dangerous chemicals in the river and they kind of floated away. Can you go find them for me? So that mission involved me racing up this with a trailer. Actually, this is where I dropped this truck into the really deep trench in the middle of the river right here. I thought, hey, I wonder if I can get across to the thing that I think was literally just right over there. I bet I can just go this way, and gravity grabbed a hold of me as soon as that first wheel plunged over the edge of the abyss. And I was unable to back out, so I had to do a quick detach on the trailer, and then raised a flag as the cab went down under. I had to recover it. But then I was able to come back, fish the trailer out of the just deep instead of super deep water, and continued on with the mission. This is the spot where I was worried, and oh god, this is trying to tip this dairy back up, right? I seem to recall this is how you're introduced to the dairy, having to do an anti-tip here. Oh, this is way easier than that first mission, though. This time it's like it actually wanted to come up right. It did not when you have to do that initial recovery. Switch, stop engine. Okay. There we go. Honestly, that was way easier than I was expecting. I was worried that this bad boy here was going to take a heavier truck to get it flipped back upright. Ooh, hey Jesse. No, I think I've got watch time hooked up, but I don't think I've got any of the others. Ooh. Excuse me. Congratulations on finding the most recent addition to the trucks there, though. For the record, that is actually a cruise ship horn, the biggest truck they make. I love the lights they put on this thing. I wish that they had put the fun full light bar on the roof like they did for the, I think the 750 has the fun light bar. The Rezvani has the cool siren-based horn, but I think this one starts with just a big red beacon on top, so actually putting on the fuel rack on top there actually gives it a little better beaconage. But I would like all of the lights, please, sir. I could entertain the argument that a permanent siren, where you trigger the horn and it just keeps going until you turn it off, would probably get old pretty fast. But having a siren horn, I think, would have been a little bit cooler. I mean, it's not terrible. Not the best horn in the game, but it's far from the worst. It's not the squeaky honk like a European tram, and it's not the car horn like the Taiga has. Especially since this one has the special fire truck skin you can put on it. It needs the full emergency vehicle treatment. Keep turning, baby. Realistically, probably don't need the suspension raised right now, but it's not raised very much. I probably would have tipped it coming out of the river under that really high hill regardless, so I'll just leave it for now. If you are deep into Deep Rock Galactic, like Nico and I have become lately, Jesse, I have a couple of Deep Rock sound effects also added in now. Not really even, well, okay, we can say they're very vaguely appropriate to a SnowRunner here, but still fun nonetheless. And if all of that means nothing to you, then yeah, don't worry about it. Nico got great enjoyment out of it, so as long as I've got one audience member to pander to, I'm good. And every once in a while, Urgent Sandwich will pop in too. Definitely panders to him. Okay, back outbound we go. Let me review my route from here. Actually, yeah, my initial route was definitely the best choice. I really only came back this other route because of my misbegotten attempt to go to a water boom instead of the water tower. I take that all the way across the river, taking it to here, and then I'm turning, climb the little bit of grass, head for the fence, and put the water up. So now I'm just going to run back and forth along this one line. I don't need to take that slightly longer detour. And it looks like I've got a... Oh wow, why am I going so slow? I've got 5 runs to do on this. I don't know. We'll see if this remains entertaining or not. Wow, you are really super slow. What happened to you? Maybe it deemed that to be lightly muddy or something. It did not seem to be that slow going in, but now we're gearing up. So yeah, we'll see if this has any potential to remain at least slightly entertaining for 5 runs. If not, I can just cancel the stream. I can find more entertaining tasks or contract, or I don't know. We'll see how things go. At some point here, Mrs. Jedi will probably come down. She has something special she wants to do with tofu for dinner tonight. I am intrigued at this notion, because like with any good tofu, the tofu itself, meh, but what you put on the tofu is all the good stuff there. So I don't know what it is, but as soon as it starts to smell good, I will probably get hungry enough that I will call it right at that point, and I will go have dinner instead, and I'm going to crash into a tree. So that is how I roll. Normally this is about the point I would wrap up, but I'm having a marginally good time. It is one of those repetitive missions, so we'll see how I go. But I'm good for the time being. I would like to at least get the first fire out. Apparently, I am doing the first burned railway station plot for Rock and Stone and for Carl. Your Pathfinder has a sick day. Oh man, I've had a few of those lately. My Pathfinder day definitely went off yesterday though. It ended up with Napfinder happening right after it though. Oh man, I was exhausted yesterday. And as it stands right now, my Savage Pathfinder day is on for tomorrow, so I don't think I have any sick outs coming. My alternative game Saturday stream though is... Actually, I almost don't see a way that it's going to happen because I'm not going to be home on Saturday. Technically, I could try to do something remote, but it's going to be burdensome. So I think Saturday's alternate game may end up getting pushed off to Monday. So I may have a Monday stream of something. And then I got my Tuesday, Thursday Pathfinders. Wednesday, of course, is always, well, Asterisk Runner. Because I am free to mix some Mud Runner in there from time to time. And then on my bonus stream days, I can do anything I damn well please. The last one happened to be SnowRunner because Ontario was only out for a couple of days at that point. I don't know what I'll do for the next one. Metroid Prime Remastered, I am greatly enjoying still. I kind of hit a wall at the end of last Saturday's stream. I'm not exactly certain what I'm supposed to do or where I'm supposed to go to do it. But the way that the game is built, if I just start wandering around, it is entirely possible that something will find me instead, and then I'm back off and running again. Which, yeah, actually is kind of how SnowRunner works when you're in that early map exploration phase. But now that I am effectively task complete, I am into the slightly harder core grind on the missions that I know what they are and I know where they are. So they make up for it by making me do it a lot. I can only complain a little bit because there's no damn potato farming involved in this one. I'm also going to smart up a little bit this time and not get myself stuck on the tracks. knowing that I want to depart them before I arrive at the terminal. Which is not how I like to ride a real train, but it is how I like to ride it. There you go, delivery 2. One more will take care of this bad boy. And hey, if anyone was paying attention for a while, you remember how I left the fuel tank on that Caterpillar instead of flipping it back over to vehicle recovery crane? Because I figured something would come up. I may be looking at something here. I have a strong feeling I'm going to need that guy with the fuel tanker to come on over and help me out. It will minimize the drive if I don't have to take this dude over to the fuel trailer that's not far from here, but in the opposite direction from going back to where the water tank is. Since the water booms are a bust. I am crushingly disappointed in that, by the way. At a minimum, they could have at least started them full. So once you depleted them, if you wanted more in those convenient locations, then you'd have to cart it in. I could make an allowance for that, but man, making me go through that task work to get those bad boys all built back up, and then they're effectively useless to me is a pisser. And not in the fun English kind of pisser way. Because that would be a completely different sort of water tank. Okay, that was a big rock. The high suspension did pay off there. Get to scrambling. Fortunately, I don't believe I'm going to have to bother putting out those driving waypoints anymore. So I'm going to become all too familiar with this route. Which is also one of the nice hallmarks of SnowRunner. You know, when you're in that early exploration mode, and it's that struggle to figure out where am I going, what's between us, and how should I do it. Once you've got the maps all opened up, though, you've been through every route a couple of times. So you kind of know where everything is, and you definitely know where the good lines are. This one is going to have one very small challenge of making sure that I properly spot the very small, unmarked offshoot road that I take to climb back up the hill. Otherwise, I go the slightly longer way around. No terrible loss. The other bonus is that if I go ahead and bring the cat over here, then that puts 2 trucks in the region to come and rescue me when I put this one on its side again. That's not my turn, I don't think. Okay, I'm going to have to at least look at the map. I won't have to put the markers in. Yeah, okay, it is up here farther. It should be right after that next long rock stretch. Okay, yeah, throw it into that high torque gear. Get a little bit of get up and go. Help us speed things up just a tiny bit. First turn, here's long arc. There's the barely marked road that I want to take. Which is why it's unmarked on the map, and lightly traveled here. SnowRunner's way of letting you know this is a shortcut that might not be the worst, as opposed to the well-marked ones that are always the worst. You can look at it and say, yeah, that's the express way to go. That guarantees you it's a trap. Go up this way. I'm looking for extra super minimal shortcuts here. This lets me avoid most of the water. Just need to stay slow and tight enough to this tree that I don't roll into the lake, because that's embarrassing. Which would be exceptionally frustrating, that I could roll into the water but couldn't actually fuel up from it. Because I guarantee you, the fire at the warehouse doesn't care whether the water is really fully potable or not. And I don't know, my driver here, Carl, probably doesn't care either. So to that contribute to Old Bacon Face, I have found the path. This is so dumb, I'm going to put myself in timeout. Only after I'll go grab one more load of water to put out the first fire. And then we'll reevaluate my life to decide whether or not I'm emotionally ready to go deal with the second fire. It's going to be 200 extra water, so I'll need 6,200, but that's still going to be 3 trips. Maybe when I'm done, yeah, I'm going to have 400 liters of water left over, and maybe I go ahead and drop that into one of the nearby water booms just so it's there. And then feel like a total schmuck when for the rest of the game I have absolutely no need for it, because there won't be any other nearby fires that require just an extra 400 liters. But yeah, that's one of those impervious signs. I got to be careful with it. Yeah, high torque is helping this time. I think with this, even though it doesn't look deep, it's deemed to be slickery mud. It definitely slows you down coming back out. A little bit of horn work. Gotta keep it fresh. There's another experiment. See about cutting corners. Yep, that tree smooshes right down. Do enjoy a good smooshed tree. I'm thinking here though, I may need to get turned a little too tightly on the back side of that tree. This might actually just be easier to go through the water. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure I got a good snorkel on this thing in case it gets deep. You can see it there next to the flap cap. There we go. This is not too bad at all. I am thinking about not being a fan of too many of these fire missions. They're all going to take place in the burned out forest, and the only way for me to get the water is to bring them from the other 3 edges of the map. It's going to leave me with unpleasant feelings toward them, because I'm sure none of them are going to be, hey, just bring me 500 liters and we'll call it good, so I can hit several at once with this dairy. I assume they're all going to take at least a full 2,200 liter tank load. I think that number 3 warehouse fire that I happened to come across went at 4,400, so just by itself it's 2 full loads. If it's number 3, that tells me that just like this one, it's going to be 6 more loads to get all of those fires taken care of. If that pans out, I will probably do most of the rest of the actual firefighting off-stream. Watching a couple of back and forth runs, especially with my newfound ability to flip this new truck. It can be entertaining, but yeah, 12 drives back and forth across the same terrain is going to get a little monotonous. And it is definitely hard for me to juggle while driving. So like, there you go, one-handed drive while I take a sip of cold coffee, but that's it. That's all I got for you. Just wanted to double check real quick. This is where I want to turn. That was a tough ball. It feels like it gets slower with each drive. OTR boredom setting in. Go get this first one done. Because I'm not wasting it. I'll take my extra 200 liters of overflow and I will apply it to number 2. There you go, pavement. Now we're flying. Okay, fire 1 is out. Smolder 1 as it so happens. And I don't know what's on fire down here. And there's a little bit of smoke coming out of the top of that Quonset hut, so I guess that's it. And all of 200 applied there. Still only 3 trips to go. She got some bounce in that booty coming over those tracks. I'll also be finding out in the next 60 or so liters of fuel just how much I carry on the roof there. And then when it turns out that number is lower than I'm hoping for, then it's time to break out the cat, bring it over with spare fuel. That one will be handy to bring a fuel truck over. So as soon as it's finished serving its purpose, I can just recover it away and not have to worry about dragging a trailer back and forth. Because I am emotionally incapable of abandoning any equipment on the map once I reach the end of a region. For me, 100% means I have recovered all trucks and sold off all trailers. Except for the ones that the game doesn't allow you to. Always makes my OCD twitch when I get down to the end and I can still see a couple of trucks and a couple of trailers on the vehicle list when you're looking at the big map, but they're all in the disabled gray because you can't own them. They just sit there and clutter the display. I am actually a little surprised that those 2 that I had to deliver for the mining company didn't turn into that. At least 1 or 2 others that I've already dragged to a location, and then they're just going to stay there forever and taunt me. 60 liters is where this one lets its red gauge kick in. I should be able to get it down to at least 10 liters before it starts to cough and sputter. Hard, a little better driving, 4 wheels out of the water. Really big rock. Oh, hey, I actually managed to avoid it. Keep pulling. Actually, we'll let the high torque gear help here. Grind our way up this hill. Actually think high torque gear ends up using fuel at a lower rate too, so that's bonus. Because if my fuel reserves are really low, probably going to pay for me to sit and wait and do the count first. As long as I can get enough in there, and it looks like I need to 130, because I think I was about 180 at this point going the other direction. As long as I've got enough to make the round trip, I'll do that first. And I'll leave the cat over here at the water tower. Or I will totally misjudge everything, and then I will just bring the cat over into the burned forest, and I'll just leave it there at that point to await some of those other warehouse fire contracts. Slow down a touch. Take this turn. That I don't have to go all the way out around this other tree. That makes me 3-point turn. I can go right through the middle. Hop over that guideline. Should have enough fuel to get me to filling up the water tank. This time I'm going to mix things up a little bit, and I'm going to back into the pumping station. Actually, let me fill it up with water first. Then I'll come over here and let's see. Transfuse. Okay, that's just their magic water. Their magic water word. Refuel. Oh, I got 140. That has the feeling like I am going to come up a little bit short, maybe? I don't know. Let's go see. At this point, I figure I'm probably committed to going ahead and finishing out this contract. And then before my next SnowRunner stream, which with me being out for a few days, probably means it'll be next Wednesday's stream, I'll decide whether or not I want to do some more of this firefighting in private. That way I can kick my feet up, serve some bonbons, and a little drool roll out the corner of my mouth here while I do a bunch of this repetitive just driving stuff. I'll probably also experiment a little bit with combinations of water tank frames on trucks that can actually tow trailers. If you can get an 1,800 liter tank on the back of the truck and tow a 2,000 liter trailer, and that's 3,800. That's close to double what this truck is loading. So it would cut these that take the 3 trips per plot down to still needing 2. So it saves 1 drive each. Although it might actually save 3 drives in total if you combine them together. A new follower. Hold on, I gotta read this here. True Pro Gamer, hello, welcome in. I am doing some of the sadly slightly monotonous firefighting here in Season 9. This is my first firefighting mission, so I am discovering the pros and cons of actually doing that with the new dairy truck. I don't know if you... I'm just going to assume that you play SnowRunner. That might be inaccurate. If you do, I'm guessing you're probably also playing on this map. So if you've got firefighting stories to tell, please feel free. At the moment, while I enjoy the look of this truck, and actually the performance isn't bad, 2,200 liters at a time probably isn't going to get it done for me. If you could put out a fire with 2,200, meaning that any of the older trucks that have been retrofit, you would need 2 trips. This one cuts it down to 1. That would be cool. But this one here, the railway station, is going to take 6 trips to get done. And I was just going through the math on if I was to use the Caterpillar that I got set up with the 1,800-gallon fuel tank right now. If I swapped that for the 1,800 water and then pulled a 2,000-liter trailer, I think instead of 6 trips, I could do this in 3, or maybe it would frustrate me and just need a little into 4. I failed to do the math to completion there. But I do like this truck, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this contract with it. But then before my next SnowRunner stream, I'm definitely going to reevaluate whether I want to do the firefighting ones off screen or not, and just stick to the cool one and done cargo deliveries all over the place for the other contracts instead. And yes, you do. Yep. Not uncommon. Honestly, I'm not entirely certain how someone would stumble by this channel completely, but without some sort of SnowRunner exposure. I've been playing a lot of Metroid Remastered lately, Metroid Prime Remastered. I've actually had a couple of people pop in off of that when doing a search for it. But yep, I'm pretty small, and I'm good with that. I have a day job that Twitch could never possibly replace for me, so I'll stick with doing this to small groups, a couple of times a week. It is definitely fun for me, and that's all that matters. My horn of victory. I'm almost back to the station. Sorry, bird, didn't mean to disturb you. Totally off in a stream of consciousness here, but wasn't there an achievement in MudRunner for startling a certain number of birds on some particular map? I don't think this game had that. It had a ton of achievements for other things, but I kind of missed the startle the birds thing. But I'm glad that they kept it in the game. For 4,000 to go. So yeah, my old school tanker truck with the tanker trailer at 3,800 wouldn't quite be enough on its own to finish this off. It's going to take two more loads anyway, so we'll let the dairy get some of it to do here. I've watched a couple of people try using this dairy for non-water missions, and I don't know that it's that performant a truck to necessarily warrant permanent inclusion in my fleet. So this batch of water missions here maybe it's big hurrah. Definitely love the look of it though. I'd like to see more like this with the little customizations, like all of the fun, pretty, all the pretty lights that it's got on it, incorporated into future season trucks. Earlier I was also talking about my burning desire to see some sort of a dump truck action added in. So you could add a dumper bed onto a bunch of these, especially the Cat. I think if you ended up roundabout finding me via It's Thompson, I posted a couple of pictures on his Discord once when the Cat's, I want to say 680, but it wasn't the 680 because that's the truck that I've got set up with the fuel, I believe, right now. But the fun Cat that does the logging missions, whichever its number is, they had one of those running at a construction site near my house, and it's so cool to see the the trucks in real life. Oops. Uh-oh, I got a sign down. I got sign down. There we go. We're fine now. Unfortunately, when I sit with my back against the couch here, it makes that part of the cushion lean just a little bit, which helps to keep it up above the suds on the beer, but it does mean that it runs the risk coming for me. Although I think that's only the second time, so I got a pretty good track record with it. Remember to take a better line in one of these crossings. It does look like I'm going to have enough fuel to get back to that water tower at least, so that'll give me a better position to call in the fuel cat. I would bring in my 750, the fuel mule, but I think I'm actually going to need a little more fuel than it carries. Especially if I'm going to commit myself to attempting some off-stream firefighting in the vicinity of those burned areas there. Getting low. Is that actually, what does that sign say? I never noticed that there's actually a sign pointing out this road. Oh, tunnel, okay. They have it set up as a shortcut to the gateway. I'm actually using it as a shortcut back to the water tower. Let's go high gear. Get them axles turning. Auto before I accidentally stall out trying to climb that rock. I think it was at 130 and change. So it's 70 liters plus probably a skosh to make a round trip. So I definitely don't have enough to do that. Go call in the cat once I get... I'm going to load up with water first. Actually, I'll load up with water. I'll come out to the pavement. Then I'll bring in the cat to refuel. Got 2 more runs. That should time me up pretty well for the evening. You're actually watching for all of this. A heartfelt thank you for keeping me company as I go. For the most part, I enjoy doing the first pass through all of these new regions solo, just so that I can soak in absolutely everything the game has to offer for me. That being said, this is one of those where I'm not actually going to do it now, but I can definitely see benefits to doing multiplayer. You get 4 people each all loading up together, you could douse these fires in an instant. But I am going to have to invest a little time in it. I'm going to chalk that up to making sure I get my money's worth. I am well over 700 hours into this game so far, so I have gotten every penny's worth I've put into it anyway, but sometimes it's good to tell yourself thanks so that you feel better about doing dumb stuff. Oh, that's right. it feels extra muddy on the way out. Gotta torque my way out. Not to be confused with twerking my way out, that is a different game. Stop engine, congratulations. I got so many fuel carriers out. And ironically, not one over in this vicinity. I used to have one over here, but I moved it because I wasn't doing anything over here anymore, and so here I am. There we go. Oh no, there's the 681. Maybe the 680 is what I meant. I don't know. I lose track of the numbers on all of these so quickly. There's my scout. This is a quick beeline up the highway to where I am currently parked. That part was not coincidental. Now, my last run with this truck, it was brought to my attention that these tires are super slick on pavement. I gotta be a little careful around these long bends. Splish splash. And this way. Now, most of the time, I will get obsessive and I will pull in there and I will fill up on fuel just to be sure I'm topped up. But even for me, at 7 liters down, yeah, I'm not going to waste the time this time around. Some of those trucks have already burned 15 or 16 by the time they get over here. When they aren't carrying 1,800 liters on their backs, those I'll go ahead and top up. But this guy has one job to do right now. And screw around, hanging out at the gas station, checking out the snacks they've got available is not it. I'm not even going to go into all-wheel drive. I'm just going to struggle through and, well, then one axle drive, I assume is the default on these things. Whether you want to call that 4-wheel drive because it's just the 4 in the rear axle, or if it's 8-wheel drive, if it's driving both rear axles, I don't know what the hell to do with all this. That's why they call it all-wheel drive versus not. Did discover a way across the river a little, I don't know if it's upstream or downstream, I have to pay attention. I guess it's downstream. You can get across before repairing that bridge. Is it worth the effort though? It's questionable. Especially given that there is not much required to repair the bridge. Normally I would expect to see the truck by now. Maybe it will pop in here shortly. There it is. Oops, accidentally let off the gas there. Get you over here on the shoulder, keep you out of traffic. I want the fuel tank into the dairy. Oh. I don't think I had access to its... No, I don't have access to its overhead storage. So let me drain the water. No, do not do that. Trunk roof supplies. Actually, I'm just going to take straight from the cat's main fuel tank. It can fix itself up later. Okay, that was a quick little diversion. That's not too bad. So I've got I got 3 more drives here. 1.5 round trips. And then that should unlock the railway station for me. That should give me a bunch of access to a bunch of other entertaining tasks to deal with in our next session. Yep, just plowing through the lake here was definitely easier than trying to bend back around that tree. Okay, point down. Everybody nice and slow. Nobody needs to roll right now. Here we go. Breakneck speed down this hill. P.S. Please do not break your neck. Did not plow into that aspen this time. Got a pretty good track record there. Ooh, that hurt. I think, yeah, I've got a spare wheel on here, but I don't believe I actually carry any repair points. It looks so far like everything has been tires and suspension. So if I blow a tire, I can replace one. Now that it's dark and there's the damn trees in the way, I can't tell if there's two. I think it's just one. So I can replace one tire. If the suspension goes out, I can keep driving. It'll just go every once in a while at me, shake the controller, shake the screen. But I don't know that there's really anything in the way of performance penalties, so I will be able to ignore that. Because the suspension is definitely taking a beating. Each of these drives, they're oscillating. Every other time they get either faster or slower, they're going back and forth. This one feels faster than that. Blue lights are still pulsating. Got to make sure that's happening, otherwise why bother? And these fires will eventually go out by themselves and just leave them alone, so there's no real rush there. But as long as I can get my pulsing blue lights, then I got a reason to be driving here. Nope, you're not turning. There you go. Not eat a stump. Okay, try out a little more high gear here. I'm not sure it really helps on this stretch though. I think it's still bouncy enough, it's not really going to matter, so I'll leave it in auto. So once we're up here nice and level next to the tracks, auto is all we need anyway. Go. Train track victory horn. I need either turbo or a supercharger on this. Not both, that would be crazy. Definitely need a good speed booster. Oops, I accidentally let off the trigger again, so I'm going to slow down in the mud until we get to pavement. It's also possible with 700 hours of accelerator time, I might be wearing out my trigger. Okay, one load to go. Ha 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 ha. Need a lightning and bats overlay. But I don't. So you're just gonna have to imagine the count in your mind. Ooh, I like the glowy embers. was watching probably Thompson earlier, either today or yesterday. I think he was doing one of the missions where you have to start carting the burned logs around, and discovered that at night they actually have the glowy embers like down there in the forest. So even they've been chopped down and stacked up and ready for you to cart away, they are still slightly on fire, which sounds ultimately safe. Oops, I got some good speed. Oh no, don't do it. Oh, you did it. Oh no. I am over here without a casual nearby truck. Well, okay, the Taiga isn't too far out. He's low on fuel, but he's not too far out. Oh, okay. You'll fix yourself momentarily. It looks like I can just buzz this way-ish. That's gonna be a challenge right there. Oh no, I didn't mean to close the menu. I'm sorry. And where's it? Oh nope, I did it twice. So I accidentally closed it again. Okay, mister, you earned your paycheck. Yeah, this was the hill that I needed to be careful on. That one rolled me last time. Here comes Mr. Rescue once more. Okay, let's see. Can you do this without rolling yourself as well? That's a better sign already. Everybody just slow down a little bit. Okay, not too scary yet. Let's go see how deep this is. That part was passable. Oh yeah, now all we have to do is get over the giant rock right there. Okay, I say over, I may have to mean around. Do I want to go high? Do I want to go low? Tell you what, I am going to go low because I see way too many stumps up high, and you know we're going to get caught on those. Actually, is this tree smashable? Yes, it is. Oops. There is an aspen in my way over there. Okay, I already don't like what it is that I've done here. And suddenly it's nighttime again. You know what? Even if I do this, can I get up that rock face? What are you actually caught on? Oh, okay. I'm going to have to back up even farther. This is obviously not a way that I have gone before. So we're going to have to do a little experimenting. Oh, kept the gas on there to avoid the roll. This looks so much better. It actually has a road. Oh yeah, this is the road that the dairy has been taken. Okay. That should be pretty safe then. So yeah, I was noticing with the dairy that I was coming down a different line than normal. I had a little more speed, and there were definitely some big bouncy rocks in the way, and whoops, bounce. Right up on the cab. Fight you through here. Do have still some fuel on board. That's going to come in handy. I'm going to try flipping him right in place. It's going to put him up on some of those rocks. But since he will be starting without bonus inertia, he'll hopefully not go anywhere. This is not the best line to take here. I'm way off to one edge. Yep, I'm going to have to break that so I can get up into the burned wood. What I'm trying to avoid doing is having to drag him sideways out away from the wall. There's so many rocks in these damn burned trees. All of these burned trees have been made extra angry by the fact that some dumbass started a forest fire and burned them. As the only human representative in the forest right now, they are taking their anger out on me. Yep, just like that. He's moving some. Doesn't seem to be moving in a direction that I would like, though. Ah, damn it, damn it, damn it. I've only got one fuel load left to go, and I'm going to spend twice as long trying to get this guy flipped up right. Okay, so we're gonna do this in a slightly harder way. Although he has stopped. He stopped moving. Let's do this without rolling. Ideally, I'd like to push his nose a little bit farther out, but if he'll go this way, I would be happy. Nope. Let me get that front end pushed back a little bit more. Crap, I have to do this as a 19-stage process. First found the dairy. Wow, this was a heavy truck to get turned back upright and moved around and everything. And then when I flipped it earlier in this recovery, why are you not going forward? It actually got back up on its wheels surprisingly easy. This time it's making up for it. It knows that I'm starting to get a little hangry. There, nope, keep, wow. Okay, we're gonna go kinetic rope this time and give it a bump. Bump! Keep going, keep going, keep going. Shit. Back over there a little bit, and oh, keep going, keep going, keep going. Lower gear. Oh, is it because I'm in deep mud right here? Is that why I'm losing my grip? I am totally losing my grip. Maybe if I stay a little bit higher on the green stuff. If I can get to the green stuff. I can't get to the green stuff, so I'll pull over here. Yep, that's too low. Let go. Let's try this again. Nope. Wow, you got nothing for me, huh? You got nothing. This is because I'm in the mud here. Oh, I even got a good bounce that time. Let me keep it a little bit lower then. I think I got part of the truck to move. So let me grab that end, see if I can at least get it to pivot. Ooh, hey, this might work out. I got it sitting up on top of a rock. So it's light as a feather when you pull it that way. There we go. Wow, I couldn't tell you what sort of simulated physics was giving it so much trouble. Yeah, oh, now I'm Austin powered here. But yeah, by making that back end pivot a little bit, it magically dragged it up on top of a rock because suddenly it wasn't so heavy. And then it turned itself upright. Bob is your uncle. Okay, thank you, Taiga. I'm leaving you right there because I might need you again shortly. Who knows? I have 1.8 of these drives left to go. Less than one round trip. Then I'm going to put this fire out. Then I am going to go see what is cooking for dinner. I believe that was Mrs. Jedi just coming downstairs and calling an audible on the tofu dish that she was interested in making. My personal call here, and well, I'd say if you're listening, you can respond here. But I bet at this point you're not. I bet what happened is she is deep into some of that schoolwork she's got going, and she is calling the audible to keep working on that throughout the evening instead of making whatever her grand tofu experiment was. So I am going to go see what I can cook up for myself. Sounds like a no-fu night. Oh, bonus points for Old Bacon Face. That was a good one. I like it. I do know that the tofu was busy pressing over there in the sink, so I could just eat all the tofu myself and be a total dick. But I'm gonna try not to. Ooh, wow, I almost forgot where the road goes. I gotta turn. Let's see. I've been making little quick dirty burritos with some Amy's refried beans with green chili in them. Really good combo. The refried part, it's a little loose for my taste. I like it when it's a little chewier, a little gummier, a little more to the bite. But Amy makes up for the lack of texture with really good flavor in it. Unfortunately, I just finished those at lunch today, so probably not a great option to do again for dinner. But I also don't have any, so I can't do them for dinner. So I now know one thing that I'm not. Well, I know two things I'm not doing for dinner: the tofu surprise and Amy's burrito. While I'm doing the boring drive anyway back to the water tower, what else can I think of for doing for no food dinner night? Backup plan. I could always have do something with cereal or eggs. Breakfast for dinner is always a winning choice. I do have a summer sausage over there. I could come up to something, do something with one of those. I don't have very much, and I have it pretty rarely, so it'll only be slightly horribly bad for me, but that's okay. We got some really nice mandarins, so I got a good fruit accompaniment lined up with whatever I'm going to do. I do know we got some frozen stuff hanging out in the, of all places, freezer. Typically that tends to be kind of like Indian or Thai stuff. The good, slightly overly expensive frozen Whole Foods store kind of choices. Things that have flavor as opposed to your typical Swanson. So that's an option. Probably do some walks and bacon. Okay, yes, I got a message. Yes, dinner has officially been punted, although I really already. But that's good. That lets me go ahead and continue running the snow until I have reached an appropriate completion point, rather than abandoning all hope with the sounding of the dinner triangle. I don't have one here, but my family does actually possess an authentic dinner triangle. It is quite loud. It is very painful on the ears. Don't let cowboy shows trick you into thinking it's fun. Beepity beep beep beep. Water management. Top up. So this is going to get us to 6,800. We only need 6,400 total. So I'm going to go put out the fire. It's going to unlock the railway station warehouse. And then I'm going to go ahead and take these 400 over to that worthless water boom, and I'm going to deposit them for a rainy day. So I think all of the warehouse fires, if those are 4,400s, that's 2 loads with this. Or I can put together my 3,800 contraption and come up 600 short. So yeah, this extra 400 is going to continue to taunt me. But that's how you know it was done by the official SnowRunner level devs. They always double check their math at the end of a level design to ensure maximum futility. Oh hey, now that I'm done being flipped, the sun's coming back out. Good timing, sun. Maybe the flip calculation takes the position of the sun into account, so you're more likely to flip in the dark, just to make it harder to get back upright. I wouldn't put it past them. Okay, last unidirectional route. A victory honk. My premature victory honk. I should be clear about that. And then I'll have a victory honk when the fire is put out, and then I'll have a post-victory honk when I have deposited my excess water into the water bank, where I hope it collects interest, which they could simulate by leaving the top of the water storage tank open if it rains and doesn't evaporate instead. I'm gonna have to think this through. Maybe if we cover the top of the tank with some plastic wrap, and then just poke a hole in it when we know the rain is coming, and then cover it with tinfoil when we're done. Just rambling off into space now while I drive this same route for the final time this evening. Yeah, this definitely suffers from classic eight-wheel, 4-axle syndrome in this game. You get a little bit of speed, you start to get a little bit of bounce, and then you stop steering. Those wheels up front just don't get a hold of anything anymore, so you go ballistic. Hey, Nico has come online, playing some of that Fire Emblem. I actually have the new DLC just dropped yesterday, I think it was. So I've got 2 more Divine Paralogs to do. Originally my thought was I'm going to do that for my Saturday stream, but since I'm going to have to postpone my Saturday stream, either I might do those on Monday now, or I will grow impatient and I will do them on my own. Maybe even tomorrow night. I have Savage Pathfinder on Thursdays, but it includes a friend with one of his friends and then a couple of his friends' children. So we tend to run a little bit earlier and a little bit shorter of a game. So we're actually done by 7 p.m. my time. So that actually would give me an opportunity tomorrow night to do a little Divine Paralog action. I should be getting 2 new bracelets with 2 new, probably snarky emblems contained within. Actually, I think one of them is another pair of the pre-existing one is a pair of siblings. This might be a pair of siblings, or a couple, or a couple of people who have been doomed to eternity in hell with each other. I don't know enough of the Fire Emblem history to know which game they've plucked these from. But it is kind of cool that they've plucked all of their emblems from prior Fire Emblem games, so that if you have been playing them all along, a couple named Carl for Carl! I tell you what, that's what I'm calling them now. And if it's not too late, I should go change Aliar, who had already changed to Lone Jedi. Maybe I should change them to Carl too. It seems like the thing to do, actually. So hey, are you streaming any there tonight, Nico? Or are you just doing some on your own? Because if you're streaming, I might pop over while I deal with my dinner here shortly. Welcome to Water Management. Woo! The rail station is dry. Well, actually it's wet, but it's not on fire. Putting out the fire at the railway station. This battle is ours! All thanks to you. Such a remarkable job calls for a matching reward. $23,400. That's a nice chunk of change. Plus 2660 XP. I hit the OK button. Did that actually... Oh, no, wait, there's a square behind me. Ooh! Ooh! I don't know that I have access to the warehouse here, but this gives me the last task on this map. It was locked behind this mission. Oh, there's the train, by the way. Floating detectors. We were driving along a dangerous route near the waterfall, and we lost all the cargo with our underground fire detectors. It should have survived the fall, so we need to go gather the detectors and deliver them to the burned forest. You damn right I will accept that. It is up and running. Actually, do that. Let's start tracking that one. So where does this live? Oh, let me turn off the fireworks. Excuse me. So, oh, okay, so... Oh, there's just, like, spots out in the middle of the forest out here that it wants you to drop them off at, and where do they come from? Oh! Okay, well, one of them dropped off at the top of the waterfall. The other two fell to the bottom of the waterfall. I got the map exposed, but I can assure you I have not actually been down there. I may have to break the cat back out with its long rescue crane and go fishing. Oh, that may be exciting. Let's see, just doing some of my own. Okay, gonna try to do a divine paralog. Oh, nice. No, snore lore fest. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them actually have pretty cool lore, but they can have either short or really long missions. Okay, you tell you what. My next thing, whenever I do it, wherever I do it, is definitely going to be the floating detectors. So before I can sign off for the evening, let me go deposit my excess water over here at this damnable water boom. That's right, that one is a boom. Nope, don't back up. I actually was already in reverse. So I got 225 meters to get over there. This will be a pretty quick and dirty one. Especially dirty because the forest is burned. Makes it extra double dirty. I've actually got plenty of fuel in this thing, so I'm gonna leave it over here by the water boom. Someone was telling me that if you flip the game to show you a display in gallons instead of liters, that some of these water tanks you actually can't fill up on because of a very weird but very believable code glitch. I would like to think that the water booms all being empty unless you bring them water from the towers is maybe a mistake too. I'm going to hold my breath for that. Otherwise, These water booms are useless to me, except for storing off a little extra water. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to eventually have to do this one anyway, so screw it. There you go. This one only needs 4,000 now. I don't need to go to the dumb boom. Stupid, lousy boom. I'm just going to start putting that fire out a little early. I may want to consider recovering that just so I can get it. Oh, no, I don't have to recover to repair because repair's right over here. Perfect. So that leaves me queued up in a really good spot to resume this later on. Oh, you're just going to try one that's a... The paralog estimates that they give are so wildly random. Like, there was a 45 one that I got done in 15. A 35 one that I got done in, I think, 30. So at least it was close. And then there was a 25 one that I got done in 12. So yeah, they are scattered all over the place. You're playing in hard mode still, I assume. So yeah, yours probably actually will still be a 30. But you're hoping to get it done in 20. Yeah, that's always the case. Ooh, all of a sudden my bit rate was going crazy, but everybody still shows green signals. So I think I'm good, which is perfect. That's the awesome way to go ahead and end my stream for the evening. Let me take a quick check to see if there are any other good snow runners out there. Maybe we could put a raid on. Oralith is out there and streaming, but he is definitely not doing SnowRunner, so I'm probably not going to subject everyone to that level of enthusiasm quite yet here. Let's see, there's Nifty Chris. Oh, hey, you know what? King Carr came to visit earlier. He'd missed when I raided him earlier because he was like deep into something before, but he is up. He is streaming again. For Carl! Well, this was King Carr, but I'm going to call him King Carl from now on. He's not going to know the difference. So yeah, let me go ahead and get him set up, and then we will go through the pomp and circumstance of maybe getting a little music playing and going to the end of stream screen. This will all be good stuff. That might have been a tongue twister there. I don't know if I said things correctly or not. He is currently playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which ironically is actually more like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 6 by this point, since they remade the original 2, but I'm just an old man. What would I know? Let me click that Start Raid button. Let that get... Okay, that is ticking away. As soon as that's good to go, we'll go on over. Thank you all for visiting. I won't be on Saturday, but I got to decide, maybe I'll do a little bit of a makeup either tomorrow night or Monday night. We'll figure out when I get there. Otherwise, I'll be back with more SnowRunner next Wednesday. I'll see you all then. Bye.